All right, it's late December 61, and I wanted to point out the Trent affair. So this has given us 10 national morale, but it's also increased foreign entry by 35. Foreign entry is really creeping up now to 54, so still a ways to go to get to 100. But basically, the Trent affair, for those of you that aren't familiar with it, basically a couple commissioners from the Confederacy were taken from a British ship, um, and in the end, Abraham Lincoln, you know, history has proven to be correct in this, basically let them go to calm the tension down from with the United Kingdom. So yeah, so if you're not playing the game, but you're interested, in history, you can actually learn quite a bit about history by actually playing the game. It's pretty cool. Well, all right, back to our fake history. I basically have retreated, as you can see, all the way back to DC, and I'm going to split up send a couple of weak divisions to Harpers Ferry to join the others, and then leave 3 divisions here with the rest of the Washington DC Reserve. There's a couple of interesting things. One is there aren't really that many forces in Pensacola. So one thing is I could potentially actually move on Pensacola this turn. In fact, let's see what happens if we do that. No, that doesn't work. We do have a transport squadron. How big is that? That gives us transport of 40. Shields is... Oops. Let's see. This might get a little interesting. Alright, why is it not taking... Transport capacity of 40. This has a weight of 39. Okay, so that works. Alright, that works. Okay, that works. Oh wow, that is weird. It will not let, it doesn't seem to let Tyler join. Oh, there we go. So basically, I'm going to send back a division to Mobile, Alabama, but we probably actually want to leave the pontoons with Norway's force. So I guess one thing I could do here is, since there's nothing there and really nothing there in Pensacola, is move it over, and then assault Pensacola. So let's do that. It'll be interesting to see what Johnston does, because he could sit tight. The other option he would have, I think, potentially, is if I can find General Grant, is come up and attack General Grant's force. So we have Grant's division, we have a brigade, and then we do have another militia unit on the way. But basically, after this turn, we'll have complete control over the railroad. You'll see down here in New Orleans that we don't. We do. We are now blockading New Orleans, which is a size 12 port. The blockade percentage is still at 40, but the next turn we'll be able to see what it will actually be at. Same thing goes here. We're now blockading Galveston as well. My big concern probably this turn is I'm really hoping General Lyon is able to sneak by and join the supply wagon here with the other two divisions. Out west has turned into just a complete nightmare. Carson's force is just destroyed, and I'm having them disperse. But Baylor and Van Dorn have done a pretty good number on them, so kudos to them for that. We've used all of our money and most of our conscripts and war supply All right, so let's run the turn and see what happens. Okay, we had two battles. One was with General Lyon. You can see that they were finally able to kicked out of the region, um, but they they no longer have any supply at all with them. So which is definitely not good. Here is Halleck's force over here, and so Halleck's force is now fully supplied, and we have a few wagons. Anyways, let me show you the battles. Here was the battle in Carthage, Missouri. One thing that's interesting about this is that in a lot of these battles, the Confederacy, they've lost a lot of cannon, which is interesting. You can see here we lost 2, they lost 14. We actually did lose more men. And actually a unit was destroyed, although it doesn't really show which one, possibly an artillery, possibly an artillery battery. This is probably because they're using horse artillery, and we have, I think, we have a couple 10 and 20 pounders in there, 20 pound, 12 pound, 10 pounds. Yeah, so we have some more long distance artillery. The other battle that happened was on day 10. We did take Pensacola. So yeah, here it is, and then we do have this another division down here in Mobile, Alabama. Johnson did not move; he stayed there with 3 divisions. In fact, a brigade reinforced him. We should, in theory, be holding, stopping. I think it's a high probability of stopping forces moving across this railroad, since we do have 4 units there, which I think gives a 90% chance of stopping it. No move on Grant at all, and so we did get another militia regiment there. So yeah, no move on Grant. You can see what the Confederacy has as far as the river navy goes. 2 ironclads and then gunboat squadrons. We can quickly go ahead and take a look at our forces as they've been under construction. Yeah, so we do have a few more ironclads on the way, and so we currently have 3 ironclads, although none of them are in full strength yet. And then gunboat squadrons, a couple brigs, and then some transport units. So they also have a few other. Oh wow, the CSS Virginia made it all the way to Memphis. That's impressive. That is quite the commitment to get them there. Out in DC land, there was no assault. Not really sure why he didn't assault, but anyways, there was no assault there, so we're still in control of it. We do have a whole bunch of Gatling guns have arrived and new generals. I really need to kind of get reorganized and get ready for Corps Command. It's going to pop up in a few months here. Of course, then we've now reinforced Harpers Ferry again. But yeah, definitely a very, very large force on our doorsteps at Alexandria. you can see the blockade is now up to 40, 45%. So blockade is it's slowly going up. So this one does have the blockade symbol. New Orleans does not, although it says we have enough forces to blockade, but we may need to actually, because there are 2 exit points, I probably need to either take Fort Pike or blockade. I think, yeah, probably take Fort Pike. So it looks like there's a division and some artillery at New Orleans. All right, so pretty eventful turn. Our forces, as I mentioned, have all dispersed. Are they? Oh, that's interesting. I guess they're going. Everyone's going this way now. And here is the force led by Van Dorn. We do have a unit down here that's now resupplied, and you can see we have a few more units that have arrived here as well. I guess that's about it. Let's kind of see if there are any interesting messages. So much is trained. Oh, interesting. General Lyon was congratulated for actions against the enemy, as well as General Shields was too. So, how about that? I guess that's about it. Let's see. Kentucky is still not. I guess just neither of us are interested in doing anything in Kentucky. I would love to, but I don't have any forces there anymore. So definitely cannot. Definitely can't do much. Okay, see you next time.